If you want to hear my update on my 2019 Pan That palette, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another video, and I am ready to talk Pan That palette for the early May, basically. So I worked on this palette again during the month of April. I'll get rid of the brush here. And I ended up repressing this middle shade right here, which is Vanilla. And as you can see, I've already made quite a bit of progress on that pan, having on the repressed shadow. And I did say that I was going to focus a lot on this side. I, surprisingly enough, didn't really touch wheat all that much, but I did use Vanilla and Tonal quite a bit. On my eye today, I used Vanilla, and I was going to go with Desert, and then I decided to go straight into Suede. I decided to go, oh, come on, put some color in that crease. And I think it's because of the Beauty Rust palette from Colored Raine that I've been using, because all of the colors are deeper and they looked really good in the crease. And I thought, why am I using something so subdued? Let's just go for it. So yes, again, Vanilla, Suede, and Sumatra. Those are the ones that I used quite a bit today, and don't mind them at all. So yeah, I think the look turned out quite nicely. And speaking of Beauty Rust is what I have on the inner lid. I was going to say inner corner, but no, inner to center lid. And I also have Sumatra as a liner down here. Let me just show you that Beauty Rust palette if you're curious about what made up this look. And it's called Dream. And it's a beautiful duochrome. And that's, like I said, that's what I have on the inner lid. This little palette really impressed me. Really impressed me. All right, so when we're thinking about the past month, what did I use? Vanilla was by far the color that I used the most. I used quite a bit of Tonal, which is what I said that I would do, but I ended up using these two quite a bit. More than anything else apart from the vanilla shade. And I did use Grounded a few times as well when I was looking for a cooler look. But that's pretty much what I used. A little bit of Sumatra and Blackberry, these two as liners like I did today. But I really have to say that because I was using so many new palettes over the last month, that a lot of the deeper shadows in this palette were sidelined a little bit. And I am hoping to rectify that with an upcoming palette that I'll be using, because I'm pretty much done with Beauty Rust, having used all the shadows at least once. And so the next palette that I'm using from Colored Raine is the Vivids. And I think that you can appreciate how, on a day-to-day basis, most of us would not use these colors as everyday colors, except for a few. So for example, Unbothered and Crushin' and Splash, I think those could be part of a reasonable day-to-day look. But every one of the other colors pretty much needs some neutral anchors to work with. So I think I'm going to end up using the matte exposure from Smashbox a whole lot more in support of this Vivids palette, which I'm going to be using over probably the next couple of weeks, along with my quad of the month. So those palettes are going to need some help in being able to support the this Vivids palette. That is my hope. Now, my goal for this palette is to finish Vanilla and to really focus on the lighter shades here, so Wheat and down here Tonal, because they really haven't been receiving enough love. And then the deeper colors, I don't want to set big goals on those because I can't use as much of those as I would some of the lighter shades. The one thing that I do have as a commitment is that Blackberry and Sumatra, that I'm really going to focus on those on the outer lid. I just don't want to promise to try to hit pan or something, because for those shadows, they're pretty powdery, but very, very little goes a long way because they're very saturated with color. And so I just dip my brush in and tap, and I've got, boom, the outer lid done. So I hope that makes sense. I'm really going to focus on the warmer side here. I think I'm going to leave the cooler side alone for the most part. So this is really what I'm going for, along with trying to finish vanilla. So that is my update for that pen, that palette. I have been weighing the palette, as you may know, and I am disheartened to tell you that it has not budged in weight. So I won't bother with showing you an update on the scale because there's nothing to show. I find it really tough to have a scale that only budges by the gram, when in order to make a change of 1 gram for this palette, I have to finish a complete shadow. So maybe by the time I finish vanilla, I'll be down to 181, but right now it is sticking to 182 grams and has been now for 2 months. But I will forge ahead, and I do enjoy using this palette, there's no question. It's a good palette, especially if you like mattes and you like neutrals. I think this is a solid recommendation. The mattes go on effortlessly, and I have trouble believing that just about anyone can't come through with a beautiful look. The only thing is if you're very, very much into cool, or you're very, very much into warm, you may find that you can only use pretty much half the palette, because half is cool and half is warm. Or I'd say 2/3 of the palette, because some of them are really, really neutral. That would be my only reservation, but I am enjoying this palette as a pen, that palette. I think I made a very, very good selection, and will definitely continue working through this palette for the remainder of the year. That is my update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are working on a pen, that palette, please let me know what you're working on and how you're doing progress-wise in the comments. I would love to hear about that. And I won't hold you back any longer. I'll say thank you for watching. I appreciate it every time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.